while he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were sore afraid. And Jesus came and touched them and said, Arise, and be not afraid. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man save Jesus only.
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kadash. The Lord's the elders that came before us, citation to you, election, you warriors that are still holding strong and firm unto the end, which we're in. We're in the end. And, you know, when people see the light and the spirit and that the blessing and the strength, the power, the authority upon you, they're going to get upset. They're going to get intimidated. They're going to get envious, jealous, hate, spiteful. And you can't let their darkness and their low life and their, depressive state that they're in get you down. They're going to try to take shots at you, try to take your crown, try to take you off your path, try to take you out of the spirit and into the spirit of the world, which the spirit of the world is all about debate, contentions, going back and forth. The spirit of the Lord is not about going back and forth. It's about just going straight forward, and if people don't listen to you or take heed or get in line, then guess what? We just keep it moving, man. Lord said it's better that you cut off your hand or your eye and you suffer that loss and you enter into the kingdom. You see? So I want to get that word for delight. We're going to focus on the word delight because just as Yahweh Shai and similar to us, we're doing the Lord's pleasure. We're doing what he delights in, what he likes, what he accepts. And it's not going to please the flesh. It's not going to feel good on the outside. But on the inside, it's going to be what it's all about. So that word delight means high degree of pleasure or satisfaction. Now, when you go to 1 Timothy 5:6, she that lives in pleasure is dead while she liveth. So it's talking about seeking things that's pleasing of the spirit, of the word. You see? Yahweh Shai, he was a man that had no sin, and he didn't satisfy the flesh and feel good in the flesh. He had no place to lay his head. He didn't have a woman like that. He didn't even deal with women. And it was all about the pleasure of the Lord, the high degree of the Most High. It says, that which gives great pleasure, delight, you see. It says sexual desire, but we know, I broke it down. It's not talking about the carnal. It says please greatly, it says to please, you see. And the Lord said, this is his son. He is well pleased. You're to hear him, listen to him. And matter of fact, when you go to the book of John, one of the first miracles that Yahushua did, he turned the water into wine. And when you go to John 2 and verse 5, it says, his mother, let me start verse 3, it says, and when they wanted wine, the mother of Yahushua saith unto him, they have no wine. And that when you go into Isaiah 24, I believe, it talked about how there's a cry for wine in the streets. The joy of the land is gone. So people are going to look toward you having the spirit, you having life in you. Us being filled with new wine, which is the new song, the spirit of life, of healing, of power. They're going to look to us for spiritual wine, a good word, motivation, something to look up to. And, even though we're hated of this world, we're rejected, we still stand out from the bunch of our people. We stand out. You see, we're a spectacle. We're a marvel. It says, verse 3, it says, they have no wine. The house I saith unto her, woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. His mother, right, because the Lord is talking about, He's not in the, he wasn't, even though he was at the wedding, he wasn't in the spirit of mirth and drinking and having a good time. That's why the Lord said he wouldn't drink from the vine until the kingdom of heaven comes. You see, he made that vow. So it says, verse 5, his mother saith unto the servants, whatsoever he saith unto you, do it. You see, and the Lord told you to love the Father with your whole heart. Love your neighbor as yourself. Those are 2 greatest commandments. And don't ask to try from the scriptures. And whatsoever the Lord has commanded you to teach. And a lot of guys are not teaching as Yahushua and the true prophets of the Lord. And they're not pleasing the Lord, they're pleasing themselves. They're pleasing men. They're men pleasers. You see? Proverbs 12 and 22. Lying, let me start at verse 21. It says, 20 says, Proverbs 12 and 19 says, the lip of truth shall be established forever. So our lamp, our lights aren't going to go out. You see? A lot of guys, they're still doing videos, but they're not doing videos on Yahushua. They're not doing videos on the true prophets of the Lord, because they're not prophets of the Lord. They don't have that spirit, which that's something in you. You can't buy it. You can't get it with carnal things. It says, the lip of the truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. You see? And all you guys are liars, deceivers, devils. Your moment is passing now. And that's why in this last hour, these last moments of this kingdom, the wicked, right? The wicked of our people, not just in this truth, but also outside this truth, they're going to get more and more upset at us, man. Angry at us. Gnash at us with their teeth. See, we're living in a time, too, where the wicked, they're not going to be able to speak nicely to us anymore. Or give us a fake smile or a fake... Because with their mouth, they show much love to the Lord, but their heart is far from the Lord. Same thing with us. With their mouth, they show us much love in our face, but behind our back, they're like, man, forget him. You know what I'm saying? And even when people, they'll try to, they'll try to act like they're your friend. They're trying to, do you a favor. But really, at the end of it, it's all covered by deceit. Whose hatred is covered by deceit. And that's a lot of our people, man. Like it says in Jeremiah, every brother shall utterly supplant. And that's what our people are, man. They ain't walking with power with God. They're just a bunch of supplanters. They're not putting on the new man. That's why it was symbolic and heavy when Jacob's name was changed to Israel. When he followed the angel. He wouldn't let go. He fought the good fight of faith. And that's what we're doing now. We're not letting go. It says, to get blessed by the blessings of the Lord, not blessings of man. It says, deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counsels of peace is joy. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. You see, mischief. And when someone's a mischievous person, it means that they always want to get into drama. They always want to fight and argue and shit. You see, that word mischief is rai, right? Rai meaning evil, bad, hurtful, worse. Misery loves what? Company. And they have a saying, you are the company that you keep. You see? And the Spirit of the Lord is separate, man. It's set apart. It's not with all these camps. And just because you're in Great Millstone doesn't make you great. What makes a man great is what? Humility. Yahushua makes a man great. You see? But hated and despised in this world. Proverbs 12 and verse 23. 22. Lying lips are abomination to Yahweh, but they that deal truly are his delight. You see? So all you guys, a lot of guys that claim to be apostles, are really false prophets, Revelation 2 and 2. And we found you to be liars. Because what the Lord's doing, he's searching things out. He's searching every man's inward man, his heart. Seeking if you're gonna fulfill the desire of your own heart, the pleasure that pleases your flesh, or if you're gonna fulfill the pleasure that the Lord is happy and pleased with, which is a spirit, fulfilling the law, the royal law, loving your brother as yourself, dying daily, bearing your cross daily, being a true disciple of the Lord. See, Job 22 and verse 21, acquaint now thyself with him, and be at peace. Thereby good shall come unto thee. Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart. If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. So when you go through tribulations and hardships and you go through, sticky situations, it's all it's to do is to build you up and make you stronger. Joseph, prime example, Yahushai. And going into Joseph, he was betrayed by his brothers. They were jealous and envious, and they was about to kill him, but instead they sold him off as slave for money. Left for dead, right? After that, he was in Egypt, right? And then what happened there? He actually got falsely accused by Pharaoh's wife that he had tried to rape her or something like that, and he got thrown in jail. So it was just evil after evil. So if you're carnal looking at Joseph, you're like, man, this guy ain't right, man. He's getting judged by the Lord. He's wicked. You see? And when you go to, I'm going to come back to Job 22, but when you go to the book of Acts, that's what they said about Paul, And this is symbolic of the wicked of our nation, biting us and trying to destroy us with their venom and their poison. And when you go to Acts, right? All the people that saw what happened to him when he got bit by the serpent, they thought that he was wicked. They was getting judged, but it was just to show the power of the Most High, that he controls, when certain things. So this is Acts 28:3 says, and when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, there came a viper. And what Lord symbolized our nation as, a nation of vipers and serpents and scorpions. They slither around. They camouflage. They bite you. They put their fangs in you. They put they put that death in you. And then before you know it, you either paralyzed, you can't move, or you dead. And they take the prey. They take advantage of you. It says, there came a viper out of the heat and fastened on his hand. And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, no doubt this man is a murderer, whom though he hath escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffereth not to live. And he shook off the beast into the fire and felt no harm. You see, and the Lord talked about his elect, that no plague and nothing shall harm us. We shall eat things that are poisonous and live. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. The beasts of the field shall be in league with us. And when you go into this precept, more than likely this is where that Marvel guy got that Spider-Man story from. He was probably inspired by this story here, because all the inspiration of all the superhero movies come from the Bible. Of Spider-Man, the spider bit him and he got them powers, right? It says, howbeit they looked when he should have swollen or fallen down dead suddenly, but after they had looked a great while and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a god. You see, and we are gods, and it's heavy too, because people, they'll be looking, like when we go to Sirach, right? They'll say with their mouth, oh, thy way is good. But then they'll go across the other street, and then they'll look upon you and watch for your fall. And really they'll be praying and hoping for your downfall. Sirach 37 and verse 8 says, beware of a counselor, right? What they're trying to tell you, put you on game on. Hey, do this. Oh, we're doing fantasy football. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing that. You see, beware of a counselor, and know it before what need he hath, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast a lot upon thee. He'll say, oh yeah, why don't you become the boss of this? But that's a trap, you see. It says, and say unto thee, thy way is good, and afterward he stand on the other side. You see, he's gonna stand with you through the entrance. You see, it's a lot of guys how they act. It says thy way is good, and afterward he stand on the other side. You see, they ain't standing with you. They're not by your side. They're not watching your back. They go on the other side, the side of the enemies. It says to see what shall befall thee. 10. Consult not with one that suspecteth thee, and hide thy counsel from such as envy thee. And that's why the work of the Lord is hidden. And that's why we don't go around and hold fucking like Korah. Korah be freaking holding, I forget what they call it, but it's like a stick. You put the phone on the stick, and you walk around, and he was walking around like basically going to everybody. Hey, you're Israelite. Hey, you're Israelite. See, the Lord didn't say to do that, man. The Lord didn't walk like that, broad and openly. Yahushua, he was under a lot of danger, you know. And like the scriptures say, he couldn't. There came a time during the Passover, which is a heavy high holy day, that he couldn't walk openly amongst the people, meaning that he couldn't like be like, yeah, I'm the Messiah, I'm the Savior, I'm Yahushua, I'm from the tribe of Judah. You see? It's just like a lot of you guys, like you'll walk around with fringes all goddamn day. Like personally, I'm gonna tell you the truth, 'cause, you know, we're not perfect over here, but when I first came to the truth, I'd do that. You know, I'd wear fringes here, there, you know what I'm saying, on my shirt. But then I came to a point, I'm like, that's not really wise like that, man. You see? See, like when you go into David, right? There came a time where David, he was amongst all his enemies. And instead of being like, yeah, I'm King David, I slew Goliath, you know, I slew all these Philistines, what's up? Instead of, you know, coming out how, you know, who he was, he had to what? He had to hide himself, man. 1 Samuel 21:12, it says, and David laid up these words in his heart and was so afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. No, let me start at verse 11. It says, and the servants of Achish said unto him, is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul hath slain his thousands and David his tens thousands? All right, verse 13. And he changed, this is what David did, and he changed his behavior before them and feigned himself mad in their hands. So act like he was crazy, like he was bugged out. And scrabbled on the doors of the gate and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. So he acted like he was like, he had autism, or he was retarded or something, man. You see? He put on an act, you see? Then said Achish unto his servants, lo, ye see the man is mad, wherefore then have ye brought him to me? Have I need of a madman, that ye have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house? David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brethren and all his fathers heard it, they went down thither to him. You see, so getting out of sticky situations. Getting out of sticky situations. Let me bring out this. Let's go back to Job 22. Yeah, Khan. So this is Job 22, and 23, it says, if thou return, let me start with 22. Receive, I pray, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart. And when you do this, you're gonna know how to answer every man. You're not gonna know how to deal with certain sticky situations, being around your enemies or those that are trying to destroy you, or, you know what I'm saying? You know, look to say in Proverbs, answer with a soft answer to turn away wrath. You see, so that's who we are with the peacemakers. 23. If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacles. Whew. Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brooks. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. You see, we are rich in the spirit, and the spirit quickeneth. The spirit is life. For then, and it's not the gold that sanctifies the temple. You see? The temple sanctifies the gold, and we're the temple. You see that? It says, yeah. 26. For then shalt thou have thy delight in the Almighty, right? Pleasure in the Almighty, and shall lift up thy face unto power. You see, Psalm 16 and verse 3. But to the saints that are in the earth, and to the excellent, in whom is all my delight. See, so we're excellent. We excel the status quo. We excel the standard of being an Israelite man. It says, their sorrow shall be multiplied that hasten after another God, right? Another power. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. And the Lord doesn't know many of you, man. He only knows a few. That's actually doing his will. You see? It's Isaiah 58:14. Then shalt thou delight in thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it. You see? So by our mouth being as the Lord's mouth, that's power, that's riches, that's strength, man. That's overcoming all obstacles and all lying lips and just false witnesses against us. You see? Psalm 2:3, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shadow with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. And you're going to know a man by the fruit that he bears, his actions, way he answers men when they're in his face trying to fight him, falsely accusing him. They're going to give a soft answer. They're going to take the low. They're gonna suffer wrongfully. That's the Lord's delight. That's the Lord's delight. You see? So Lord, when you was edified, now I'm just gonna close off with this precept here. This is let's see. Proverbs 11:20. They that are of a forward heart are abomination to the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. And we're seeking things that please the Lord and don't please us. Psalms 119:47. And I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved. So we got love, and like Scripture in Corinthians, the Lord knows who loves him. Psalms 119:16. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy words. So guys, they're actually forgetting the word. They're forgetting the exhortation. As sons, despise not the chastening of the Lord. That's why guys holding back their sword from blood, and they don't want to be hated. You see, they don't want to be looked in as in a bad light. Not knowing that, the bad light, so to say, in this world is really the good light, because everything's upside down here. Isaiah 5:20. Yeah, I'm gonna get out here, Lord, when you guys are edified and built up, and you got something out of that, and I'll catch y'all in a little bit. All praises, glory, honor, fear, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash, Abba, annihilation to all the anti-Yahweh Shais, all those that hate life and hate the Lord, hate this word, and hate his men. Shalom, peace to the Lord's true followers. Shalom.